how much I love Journey Spice. Journey Spice, non-GMO, no salt, no sugar, just all sorts of goodness and smart, environmentally friendly packaging. Pinch the top, take it off. Food tastes better. Comes in singles, 2-packs, and 4-packs. It's Journey Spice. Find them at Amazon.com. Time for Denver's best sports talk with the Altitude Daily.
This is the Altitude Daily Podcast. Everything you can't miss from today on Altitude Sports Radio. Mosher, Lombardi, and Kane.
You know, since really the back surgeries, guys, he's fought through a lot and played through a lot of pain.
And not just health. What people, I'm not forgetting it, and I'm sure you don't
his brother's situation,
The situation with this family, I think, has weighed so heavily on him. And the ability, guys, I don't know if we remember this accurately. The Denver Nuggets won an NBA championship in obviously the most challenging year mentally of Michael Porter Jr.'s young life.
Doubt.
They won an NBA championship in a year in which one brother went to jail, another brother was about to be suspended for life, ejected from the NBA for betting issues. Another brother the guy has gone through some family duress, mental duress. He overcame all that, still played basketball like a pro. And again, you will not get me to say anything bad about Michael Porter Jr. today. I love everything about the guy. I've had deep conversations with him about philosophy, about his back. He gave me a book about back issues, for crying out loud. He read this book and said it changed his life. Now, it didn't change mine, but it changed his.
I'll just say one thing quickly on the Porter stuff because I want to focus more on the here, the now, and what this team is going to look like moving forward. But just quickly, I'm glad you mentioned that, Vic, because I did the same thing earlier, but I'm going to say this again. The thing that I respect the most about Michael Porter Jr., and think what you want of him as a player or his game or whatever, Porter was somebody that, first of all, was the ultimate team guy. He had no problem at the end of a game if somebody said, hey, we need to put this guy in for defense in crunch time. He'd be like, you know what? If you feel like that's best, then go ahead and do it. Ultimate teammate. For all the stuff that he had in his life, whether that means the back, the drop foot, the shoulder last year in the postseason, the situation with both of his brothers, family stuff. You know what I never heard Michael Porter Jr. say? Yeah, this stuff's bothering me. You know what he said? Even when he's wearing a diaper on his shoulder, couldn't get his own jersey off. What he said in the postseason this last year and multiple times in the years before that, I got to be better. Never used anything as an excuse once, when very obviously he could, right? Hey, Mike, why aren't you shooting as well? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Have you seen this thing on my shoulder? Yeah. I don't know. My brother just went to prison for a while. I don't know. My other brother just got suspended.
Kicked out of the league,
Not once did he say anything other than, I got to do better. That's always what he said.
The Altitude Daily. The Morning Sprint.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I was not in the office here when this news broke. It happened about seconds when we got off the air. And Mike, I want to say hello to you, wherever you're reporting from. Where are you?
Steamboat Springs, Colorado, Vic.
Beautiful.
Great to see your beautiful face.
Great to see you as well. I just wanted to chime in on this because this is a guy that the Nuggets have been hot for, Jonas Valančiūnas, for a couple years now. It's not like a newfound love. They've been in love. They've been dating, right? They just couldn't figure out a way to get him here. And the fact that they got him here by trading away Dario Saric, I am trying to figure out for the life of me why and how Sacramento would do this deal. And fellas, in terms of the cap ramifications, Jonas has essentially 1 year left on his deal because the second year is a team option. So it's going to be $10.4 million this upcoming season for Jonas. Dario cost you $5.4. So the net cost for the Nuggets is $5 million. That's what they're paying net after trading Dario Saric. It's a $5 million acquisition, which is far less than I ever imagined for a backup center. So now, having said that, they still have money left. They're not done yet. They're not done yet. There is still money under the apron threshold, under it, in which they can go get a guard, because that's the last remaining piece. Maybe another shooter, perhaps a point guard, somebody out there, another piece they can add to their bench. Their bench is already already miles ahead of where it was last year. And this caps off two things that I know to be true now. Two things. Obviously, DeAndre Jordan, thank you, my friend, a great leader in that locker room, but I think this marks the end of DeAndre Jordan's career with the Nuggets. And number two, Russell Westbrook, with yesterday's acquisition of Bruce Brown, he's done. He's gone. He's not coming back. It is a new room. It is a new bench. It is a new team, and it's a new hope. And if you're a Nuggets fan, I'm telling you right now, you better be smiling ear to ear because this team is a hell of a lot better right now.
The Altitude Daily. Columbus, Hastings, and DMAC.
Let's just go with what they have done. The deal done today is not done if the Michael Porter Jr. deal is not done.
Right.
Right, because that got you below the apron and got you below the cap and allowed you to have more money to free up. And I'm with Tyler. The caveat for Brooklyn, I was reading yesterday, they're trying to stockpile picks. They figure they can get Porter's got 2 years of his deal. They'll pay him this year, and then if not, it'll be a expiring contract next year, which will be easier to move. So they're going to, 1 year to give him a chance to see if he can stick in Brooklyn. I think that was a home run trade. You got a guy who's 2 years older. He's basically the same guy, I think, offensively, except I think he's a better passer. I think he'll move more, and I'm not this into diss on Michael, but I don't know if it's the health things or what. But I don't know how much he can really move. But this guy will move without the basketball, which will make him even more dangerous.
And he can shoot off the dribble, right?
And he's a better defender. Well, he had to get more off the dribble in Brooklyn. Before, he was kind of a spot-up guy, brought him on off the bench and do this. He kind of came into his own, really, last 2 years in Brooklyn, where I think he shot like 43 and 40% from three. He's always been a good shooter. I just think it's a win. And I mean, look at all the money you saved, right? I mean, you saved $40 million basically in 2 years from the salary cap.
And that's essentially why they included that first-round pick, why it was worth making the deal. The players are really close to similar. They bring you a couple of variants in terms of different things, but, like, their shooting slash lines are close. MPJ arguably a better rebounder. My question for you is, with the addition of that, now you got Jonas Valančiūnas in the fold as well. You bring back Bruce Brown. You were on the show when we talked to the VPs and said, hey, what is your identity as a team? And they said to be able to beat any style, which is great when 15's on the floor. But when 15's not on the floor, what's your identity? Is it maybe defense now, Scotty?
Well, it could be. I mean, Valančiūnas is not the greatest defensive player, but that's a big, stout, strong dude who's been a star of the league, who's a pretty good passer as well. Listen, when you compare passing with Joker, I mean, you got to see if Magic still got some years left in him. That's the only guy you can kind of compare him with. But no, it's the first time since Plumlee you've gotten a legitimate center that can back up Joker and take big minutes. That's probably about 8 times more talented offensively than Plumlee was.
How the heck did we get that deal done? That one to me is almost crazier than the Michael Porter Jr. one. We just swapped Dario for a dude that actually plays basketball, that scores 10 points a game, that's 6'11", that's like a legitimate backup center. Like, how do we get that done?
And if you go back to his Orlando days, made an all-star game, I believe, when he was in Orlando or Chicago, one of the two. And I think was a 2010 guy for a couple of years in his league. He's probably getting up there. I didn't look at his age. I bet he's 31, 32, 33 maybe. But no, he's a player. You add $5 more million to your salary cap, but again, you're able to do that because you traded Porter. But next year, his contract at $10 million isn't even guaranteed.
Yeah, it's a team option, which is great for the Nuggets, right? The opposite of what Dario just had.
Doesn't work out, then guess what? So, listen, hey, anybody had any question on John Wallace, I think ought to step back and go, my bad.
Yeah.
The Altitude Daily. Kretman and Lindahl.
A trade like this one, and again, don't mistake it, it's about that 2032 first-round pick, but a trade like this one where a team was going to take on a whole bunch more money and like give Denver both a good player, basically an equitable player to Michael Porter Jr. and cap relief, it's whether it fell in the lap, whether it was discovered, whatever the process was by which Wallace and Tenzer made this happen, I don't know. It's incredible. It's incredible that this happened. To make a single move that checked the biggest boxes that this team needed, which was more versatility on the court, a broader skill set by an individual on the court, and now you have savings to go and get other dudes that you desperately need to be able to add. I'm floored they did it. I truly am. It's incredible. And now you take a player like Cam Johnson, who is, in Brooklyn, like, he had to facilitate. He had to create. He gets to play with Jokic now.
All right.
He gets to play with the best player in the world that is just gonna just open up the world for him.
You know what? I'm not suggesting that he's going to hit this level with the name I'm about to mention. But the last time I heard you describe this kind of player who now gets to free up and let the pressure be relieved, it was Aaron Gordon.
It was AG.
It was Aaron Gordon coming out of Orlando.
I think it's a huge similarity, like, that Cam Johnson could potentially make an Aaron Gordon kind of leap, where it was like, okay, Cam Johnson, really good role player, a top of the lineup kind of guy, but now you get to come to Denver. Now you get to play with Nikola Jokic. You only have to be, again, like, we're only asking you to be the third player on this team, fourth player on this team. There's going to be Christian Brown nights. There's going to be Brucey B nights. Some nights are going to be the fifth option on this team. And I think that players, like, I think they like living in Denver's egalitarian basketball system where everybody eats when they play with Nikola Jokic.
You've been listening to the Altitude Daily. Catch us live weekdays on 92.5 FM, the Altitude Sports Radio app, twitch.tv/AltitudeSR, youtube.com/Altitude Sports Radio, and your favorite smart speaker. Say Altitude Sports Radio.